Hey, Matt here, and this is the video changelog for Scrapebox version 1.15.36 through 1.15.47. There's a major change, and that's that the proxy harvester was redone, and several updates were to bug fix that and add new features to that. And the rest of the updates were just basic bug fixes, enhancements, or adjustments because Google changed some things. So PageRank Checker and the index checker and several other things had to be adjusted to compensate for changes at the search engines. So the major thing in all those additions being the proxy harvester, you'll notice that used to under options there was what was called the new proxy harvester. If you had that checked, you used one proxy harvester. If you had that unchecked, you used the original proxy harvester, and they worked a little differently and did different things a little differently. And that's no longer there. It's all been consolidated into one proxy harvester. Also used to under maximum connections and timeouts were your settings for the proxy harvester. That's no longer the case either. When you hit manage, you have its own configuration button, and it has connections and timeouts as well as to not do a Google test all right there. The proxy harvester or proxy manager itself now, rather than doing sweeps where it did checks for Google and then anonymous and then speed, it does it all at once. So if you get halfway through and you want to abort, you actually have fully functional proxies, assuming that you had good ones, that are ready to go, whereas before you had to let it at least finish both the Google and the anonymous sweeps before you could even do anything. So if you had a massive list that slowed you down, by doing it this way, it's much faster and much more efficient. It also utilizes GeoIP to bring in your country, and it'll tell you what country the proxy is from, and you can sort by clicking on all of these tabs. So if you wanted to sort by country, hit it, and then say you only want, I don't know, proxies from Europe and proxies from the US, then you can sort that. Or say you want to remove proxies from a certain country, then you can select all those and remove them. Under harvesting proxies, it's pretty much the same thing, but this harvester as well, the whole proxy manager utilizes a highlight option. So let me give you an example. If we type in some URLs here, and I'm just going to make these up because obviously we just can't get proxies from google.com, but say we add in a couple of sources here. And click OK. Now, say I want to remove these. Say I've got all three of these checked and I hit to remove these. It's not even an option. It won't remove them because it doesn't work based off of the check marks. If you want to harvest, you would check off what you want to harvest proxies from and hit start. But when it comes to removing, you have to actually click it, and whatever is highlighted, that's what remove works with. So if I want to remove one of them, I can just hit remove. If I want to remove multiple, I click on the first one I want, I hold down the shift key, and I click on the last one I want, and it will highlight multiple ones, and I can hit remove, and it will remove them. Same thing works in the actual proxy manager part where you have proxies. You can click one, hold down the shift key, click another one, and remove that section. So you can sort by country and then highlight all the proxies from a given country and remove them, or highlight the rest of the proxies and keep them. Same thing goes with all the different categories that you can sort by. So that's worth noting. Also, in this particular proxy manager, whenever you click, and I just brought some proxies in here, pause for a second. Whenever you harvest proxies or that sort of thing and you hit apply and come back to this screen, it automatically removes duplicates, so you don't have to worry about that, which is nice. And then when you're actually testing proxies, you can get just the untested proxies or go ahead and test all of them. Or when it runs through here, you can see that it's going across and doing the anonymous, and I have Google turned off, and so let's turn Google on there for this test. And then let this run here and let it test against Google, and then we'll be able to see how this is working just a little bit differently than it used to work. And so it's testing proxies through, and I'm just going to go ahead and hit abort. You can see we have 20 anonymous and 3 Google passed, and then we can see that we can sort by country, we can sort by Google passed, sort by anonymous, that sort of thing. So if I wanted to remove some, I can go here, highlight, filter those out, and I can filter, remove. You can probably can't see it in the video here. There's under filter, there's remove selected, which would be this, and remove by speed, which gives you this option where you can check off your speed settings, and then you can keep Google proxies or keep anonymous proxies. If you keep Google proxies, it'll keep ones that pass both Google and anonymous. If you keep only anonymous proxies, it's going to keep any proxies that are anonymous that don't have an error. So let's keep just anonymous. I've got 7 anonymous that didn't have any errors, and then 3 of those happen to be Google Pass as well. Then I can save those. I can save selected, meaning whatever is highlighted, and save selected proxies to Scrapebox or text file, and then I can save proxies. If I just hit actual save proxies, it's going to save the actual proxies to a text file or save them to Scrapebox. Now, the Google portion was redone a little bit in this new proxy manager, and it was optimized, which greatly added enhancements for Google, which is great. But in order for it to work ideally, you would test your proxies and then save proxies back to Scrapebox. Just hit save proxies to Scrapebox, go here, click close, and then you would have your proxies and you would go to town and do what you need to do. So that is how the new proxy manager works for the most part, and that is the majority of the changes that happen from .36 to .47.